Welcome to Malcolm and We, heard exclusively on malcolmpresents.com, a streaming platform heard round the world and beyond.
And
Anyway,
beyond.
welcome. I'm Malcolm Berman. I'm the co-host or host, and my co-host is Yana Larson. Yana, introduce our guest.
Yes. Our guest today, Vaishnavi Ramu, is a wonderful hot off the press volunteer we recently recruited to help us construct our new and improved version of We the World. Already, she has been in great demand from team members as she is also our IT help desk person. This is stunning as we've never really had an official person to fill this role. She's also a floater, that person who is so skilled she can go from task to task and figure out and solve problems. In addition to being our Zoom tech specialist, she has been active in creating presentations to show those of us still struggling with Basecamp, our management software program, how to effectively use it. She mentioned to us that she loves to create presentations, and that's exactly what she's been doing. In her own words, Vaishnavi says, "My name is Vaishnavi. I'm a recent graduate from the University of New Haven and originally from India. I'm deeply committed to giving back to humanity and creating meaningful impact through service and community work. As a volunteer with We the World, I support global efforts to help build a more just, peaceful, and sustainable future. I bring passion, purpose, and a strong sense of global citizenship to everything I do." And it's wonderful to have you here today, Vaishnavi, with Malcolm and me. And yeah, you've just been amazing so far. Thank you for being
So
here and for helping us.
I'm so happy to be part of this.
Mhm. How did you guys
So
get
you've been
together?
helping Rick with, he's been working on the We Power America project that he's brought out of slumber to create a more unified and stronger version of this idea in view of everything that's been happening in our country and in our world. And today's just another example of the
Chaos.
whatever the surreal version of America and the world today.
It's known as chaos.
Yeah,
Yes, it is. It's chaos.
The
It's
world is
chaos
total
in media
chaos. Have
too, correct? And it's chaos everywhere. It's
Yeah.
just bizarre.
I never remember, when I'm 82. I don't remember in my lifetime where there's been so much chaos around the world.
hmm
Whether it's our country is really, well, I think, well, screwed up, and war in the Middle East with Israel and Iran, with what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. Again, what's happening here, and I'm not sure what's in India. I read there's a lot of like problems. People want to be separated.
yeah, there was a war, almost a war between India and Pakistan recently, but
Yeah,
it all have cooled down a little bit.
and even part of India itself. The portion of, I forget, where the Sikhs are from.
Yeah,
They,
yeah,
they want to separate and
yeah,
do their own country the same way as India and Pakistan did.
yeah. But
Well, and then Malcolm, I mean, with our improved abilities to communicate and find out what's going on around the world, that hasn't seemed to calm things down. It's almost like it seemed to make it worse, or probably I don't really know what I'm talking about, but at least we know about it, and maybe that just makes it seem more chaotic and ominous. But but in truth, there is a lot of chaos happening in our younger days. Malcolm, I'm a little bit behind you. Vietnam came into our living rooms, and there was the Watergate hearing, and that's when my family finally got a color TV. I was in high school.
Actually, that's what helped end the Vietnamese War. Because what they did do something called a body count. I don't know if you read that in history. What they would do is they would have live cameras, live things when the bodies came back to the United States with the dead soldiers, and they would
Mhm.
do body counts. Oh, the Vietnamese they had 10,000 killed, and the U.S. only had 200. But all of a sudden, the 200 became real people.
Mhm.
If
Yeah,
if you give numbers like I hear, whether it be in India or in other parts of the world, 10,000 people died in a tsunami.
Yeah.
yeah.
It
The
doesn't make
numbers are
sense. It doesn't really. I
well, I
think
just
that's a
read
pity.
recently that the protests, with the Vietnam War are what ended the war. I don't know if that's true, but that the power of protesting, as people are doing today, um, in counterpoint to Trump's uh, birthday parade
Birthday bash. Well, that's
with all of the tanks and the vehicles and the bands and
course like
all that.
$40 million to bring in or
Well,
more.
and then yeah, and then like 16 million of that is to fix the streets
Oh,
after um, the vehicles leave. But all these protests are happening everywhere. Um, it's like there's martial law is starting already with the Marines yesterday being on camera
In Los
arresting,
Angeles, yeah, the Marines are in Los
yeah,
Angeles and the National
yeah,
Guard.
arresting a civilian.
Now, what happened? I think what the people are objecting to is not the fact that he wants to, excuse me, deport illegals,
mm-hmm.
but he said he wanted to get rid of all the criminals,
Yeah.
ones that have a record. But what's happening is ICE is going into areas where they may be, undocumented workers, but they're working, they're family people. They're working in factories. They're
And
working,
they're paying taxes
yeah,
and
they're
all of that.
working in the fields. They've been doing it like for 10, 20 years.
Yes.
And he's deporting these people. Plus they're getting people with green cards.
And people who have been allowed to come here for
Right.
legitimate reasons. Well, Vaishnavi, how does this look to you as a young person coming from another country and being here in America and even in the time that you've been here, seeing change?
Yeah.
And as
So,
a very informed college student, a very educated college student.
Well, you're going for your master's now, right?
She has it.
yeah.
You have it?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
I graduated.
Oh, so you're in the envious position of looking for a job?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
We're going to lose her at some point, or maybe she will stick around to help us out. But as she told me when I was interviewing her, she goes, "So I have this degree and I have my master's, but evidently that's not enough. I have to have all these certifications." So that's what she's working on
Are you
now.
looking to stay in this country or are you looking to eventually go back to India?
So I was thinking, so if I get a job, I'll get some experience. And then after like till my visa expires, I'm gonna stay and then I'm gonna leave if it doesn't extend or if it doesn't work well. So I don't have like a long-term plan to settle here. Some point of time I do want to go back because my parents are there and they don't want to come here. And for me, um, yeah, it's very chaotic with the students also because right now, I think the news which I heard was like the entire visa has been stopped. It's not been, they're not giving at all because they're gonna um increase the background check, increase the security check. They're gonna go through all over social media before giving visas. Yeah, I mean, I understand because there are like quite few people who just get visa, come here, and then they don't follow rules. I understand, the scrutiny, but also at the same time, people come to this country with a lot of dreams. They want to graduate, they want to at least get a little experience and then go back. But that dream literally, it's been dying. Now nobody wants to come.
Mm.
Everybody's like, no, I think we're gonna stay here. We're not gonna come because it's a little difficult. Because first of all, you come to a different country, you have to adjust a lot here. And then once you adjust, just have to keep going and you miss your house. You find people, you find people, you want to, explore things. But when I see these things, I feel like, did I make the right decision coming here?
Mm.
Should I want to stay? Should I want to leave? It's very confused. I'm very confused right now. I'm not quite sure what to do. But the only thing is I'm just hanging through a thread. So it's like go with the flow.
Mm.
Whatever
Well,
comes in.
if it wasn't for your family, that your family, was, or you miss them,
Hmm.
and it was just you personally, would you like to stay here? Do you like what do you America has to offer you? Or do you
Yeah.
think,
Yes, yes. It's a great place. I mean, yeah, it's a really great place. Very welcoming people. I've been like, there's so many American friends and my professors and, people in the university were very welcoming. So yeah, personally, if it wasn't for them, yeah, I would want to stay.
yeah, well, personally, I feel when they say America the MAGA make America great again,
Mm-hmm.
it's basically it's great because we welcome people like you from all over the world to become part of us, or we become part of you. We all learn from each other.
Yeah.
That's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the way
Right.
I mean, the theory supposedly of how we all started, but all of us here today, including you, Malcolm, not Vaishnavi, but me, my ancestors were immigrants, and in fact, um, when I was taking a course at Kent State um, about the immigrant in American history. And we know that my grandfather came over at some point, but we didn't know how he got here and when exactly and just what was the process. And I found that I found his signature on a ship manifest at Ellis Island that he had come over. He was a member of the ship's crew. No one had known that, and he was being sponsored by my great grandfather.
Who lived here?
that was that was really cool to find that. And of course, then um, I mean, I don't know how my great grandfather was of Danish um, ancestry too, as were all the people that lived around them in this part of Nebraska. A lot of the people that are buried in the cemetery near where they lived. Most of it's a very tiny little cemetery. Most of everybody there are my relatives, the Nielsen's, the Rasmussens, and all of these Faker quests and all these people. And I mean, it's just amazing to me to think about that. But they 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 told my grandfather that he had to stay in the family, so he married my grandmother.
Mhm. Well,
Malcolm, what's your story? How your family came over?
actually, I have no idea.
Hmm.
Uh, I only go back like one generation that I know, and my dad came over. I'm not even sure from what country it was. Eastern Europe, but Eastern Europe could have. I originally thought it was Russia,
Hmm.
but Eastern Europe could have been, Russia. It could have been Ukraine. It could have been Kazakhstan. It could have been so many. Could have been Poland.
Poland. 50% of my ancestry is Eastern
It was
European.
all a part of Eastern Europe. Religiously, I'm Jewish.
Hmm.
And I don't remember, and I know from my dad's family, my dad was 41 or 40 when I was born. And he was like the one of the young, I think the youngest child. So he had brothers that were uh,
10,
like
15 years older.
25 years older than him.
Oh, wow.
So
So you were,
they
it
were
was
in
a surprise.
right. So they were in the 60s when I was born, or
Oh,
70s, and so I never got a history of where actually where they're from. Same way with my mother's family. I think my grandfather was Polish, but he didn't speak English. I don't know whether I think he spoke Yiddish, which mainly is a Jewish language in Europe.
is it a dialect or
Yeah,
is it
actually,
a,
it's a German dialect,
ah,
Ish.
Yiddish, and so I really never spoke to him because I didn't understand what he was talking about. So I
Vaishnavi, when you're talking to your family, I mean, how often do you get to talk to them? And what kind of questions did they ask you about when they're hearing all this strange news coming to them from the USA, or do they get the news? Do they mostly just what's happening is what they hear from you?
I almost talk like every day. Morning for me, night for them, it's like 10 hours difference. So I talk morning and in the night to them. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, they know more than me.
Oh,
They tell me, oh, this is what happening in US. I'm like, wait, I didn't know.
I
How
know.
did you know? There are like so many, news channels. They keep talking about the entire world. So
Do they listen to BBC?
yeah, they do. I mean, we also have like BBC in our regional languages. BBC,
mm,
I think we do have like BBC, yeah, BBC English. And also most of our regional news channels, they show like major things about what's happening in another countries. It's not only like our country.
right.
So there's like a section, like a half an hour or 1 hour section where they talk about the world's news. So
Hmm.
what is happening around the world, what is happening in Europe, what is happening in
In Asia.
US, and when even like um I don't know if here how the news channels work. I really don't know because I just read news, I don't watch news. So like do you guys like I just want to like do you guys get to know how other whatever happening in different countries?
Well, we don't as much as we ought to. We have access to it, but
Mhm.
it's amazing how many people in our country don't really know what's going on. Um, and and I don't know why that is. I don't know if they just have their one channel they want to listen to, their one station, or they just aren't cued into it. What do you think, Malcolm?
Well, if just listen to the local news here, the local stations, which are over here to 2, 4, 7, 11, 9, and 11. There's
Mm-hmm.
very little national news, maybe like a half hour a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
And
rest,
those are like the local like ABC,
yeah,
CBS,
NBC.
NBC.
The rest of the news is who's murdered who,
Yes.
what
And the
accident you are,
car
uh,
crash out
car
by
crashes, the
wherever.
weather, car chasing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are news channels like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
very
I
little.
feel like why do
But
they?
where do your parents live in India? Where are you from?
It's a place called Bangalore. So we live. So our state is Karnataka. So we live in Bangalore. It's like capital of Karnataka, southern part of India.
Southern part of India. And
India's
what type of
huge.
work? What type of work do they do?
So my mom, she works in this Colgate distribution, and then my dad is an electrician. So
The electrician.
yeah, they both work.
Are they educated? Are they, college, high school?
My dad, he finished his high school, but he didn't go to college because he
Mhm.
didn't want to study further. My mom, she did masters
She did a
in
master.
account.
Wow.
Yes, and she did a bachelor's and then she did a master's also in accounts.
In India or in
Yeah, in India.
so I know you told me that you're the only child. Did you know at a young age that you were going to go to college? That you were going to go for an education?
Yeah, I mean, they wanted me to complete basic education for sure. Doesn't, any college do anything, but we just want you to, finish your basic education so that you can, wherever you go, if something happens, you can get a job and you can live if you have
Did they
education.
want you to go to America? Or was that
It
your
was not
idea?
their decision. So actually, initially, my plan was to go to Germany. I don't know why it
Mm.
changed. It just got changed to America. And then, yeah, they just supported the decision. A lot of people actually told my parents, like, why you sending? She's your only daughter, and she's also girl. Why you sending her far away? And my dad is like, it's her future. Let her do whatever she wants. So my dad thinks that he never got an opportunity to explore things, and he never did the things he wanted to do in his life when I was a young age. So he wants me to do everything. You
So,
go
so,
out, you see the world, you do whatever you want.
so they didn't say that you're the daughter, you're a girl, you should get married at 15 and have 10 kids.
No, if I tell that I want to get married now, they're like, are you sure? Do you have your career set? Maybe not.
You went to school for so many years and then you got all those
Right.
certifications and you want to get
You
married?
want to get
Want to get married? You need to
Well,
put
this is what is so fun about working at We the World and doing the job that I do is I get to meet so many fascinating young people, and they're from all over. And one of my VAs, virtual assistants, is in Iran. He was born in Bangladesh, but he's in Iran and he's in Tehran, Iran. And so he was talking, we were in a meeting this morning with people from Africa and India, and he was talking about the recent bombings by Israel, and I asked like how close was it? And he goes, oh, maybe 1 or 2 kilometers away from where he
Ooh.
lives. I'm like, that's close.
it's extremely close.
And I tried to get a hold of him and I couldn't and I couldn't and I couldn't. So I was getting worried and the internet was down and it's a little bit calmer, but then Iran bombed back and
Mm.
now what's going to happen? So oh, it's frightening. I have so many friends all over the world
Right.
and I'm Mama Yana, so
Well, one of the things that give me hope is people like you, that I like contacting people from around the world, people who are coming, young people
Mhm.
who do
mhm.
have hope, who are not so much, I'm Indian, I'm going to remain here, I'm American, I want America. It's everybody's international. It's a small world. It's a small world that I could talk to you. I mean, we've had people on the show, Malcolm and we from Africa, and thanks to Yana. By the way, if you have people that you know or friends that you think would be interesting or trying to make the world a better place, let
Mhm.
us know and we can interview them.
Yeah, sure.
Because
Yeah, I'd love to.
because the future of the world are people like you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
and with communications that we have, I could speak, when I speak to all over the world, it keeps me young.
Yes, it does. It does.
And
Um,
I can tell from Yana, she doesn't look like 110 years old. I'm
yeah,
kidding.
I'm nearly there, but
No, but you're young at
how
heart.
we interacted.
I mean, for my age people, for me especially, I look up to people your age because you have like so much of experience. You have seen so many things more than us. Like what, 50 years more than us? So I love hearing, especially I love hearing to my grandmother, my grandfathers talking what they've been through. I think once my grandfather told me, oh no, sorry, my grandmother told me. So when we got independence in 1947, so her father took her to the place, when they were announcing that, now we are free. So she was sitting on his shoulders.
Shoulders.
Yeah. And then they were screaming because finally we got the independence. She was telling, I've seen that and I'm seeing this. she's like, I've seen so many things. She's also almost like 80, 82. So she says that I've seen from independence to, world right now.
Yeah.
It's changed so
Yeah,
much.
she's my phone. Yeah, it's well.
I know.
I don't know if you've ever seen the show Gandhi, the movie.
Yeah, I did.
I mean that's sort of actually that's my basic knowledge of in India's independence.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's we actually study about it in our schools. So what happened, what war and all happened, and what year. We had to remember all the years.
Yeah.
We had we had this we used to have this subject called social science where they all we also had like French Revolution, all these things. They used to
Well, may
teach
I
us.
ask, how old are you?
I'm 25.
25. Yeah, so actually, I'm older than your grandfather.
No, actually, you're my grandfather's age.
I'm 82.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
So,
We.
and it's nice that I could relate to you like you or a peer of mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't relate to you like you're a kid or it, it's your peer, a peer are equal. It's not you have to respect me because I'm older. I respect you because what you're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing great work. And I mean, it's to me, it's so amazing. And as a having the volunteer spirit, volunteerism, not everybody has that, and so that's why I so love what she and the other volunteers that we have. It's a passion for volunteering and a compulsion almost. Like you have to do it because you have to feel like you're somehow connected to the to something greater than yourselves that you can do, and it does start with just one, and it may not seem like you're doing very much, Vaishnavi, but you are doing so much, and we are so incredibly grateful to all our volunteers and everybody around the world volunteering to do something.
Yeah,
And if everybody would just do one thing, just think.
yeah, V, how did you find out about we?
Mm-hmm.
How did you find out about we?
So I was going through a website called Volunteer Match, and I was just applying to so many NGOs, and then Yana reached out to me, and then I really loved our first conversation and everything. I'm like, okay, this is where I wanna, work. So I really loved it. And also, this is one great thing, coming out of the bubble, you meet so many people, you have a conversations like this, and it feels great. Really feels great
Well,
when you
it connects you. It
exactly.
especially with the communications, you sort of are breaking barriers.
Yeah, yeah,
You're no longer in your little box,
exactly. Yeah.
and the
What's
whole
cool
world
about
is
We the
open.
World, and I'm sure, Vaishnavi, you agree with this, even though I'm a little concerned that maybe our fearless leader, Rick Olfek, is taking up a bit too much of your time. But I mean, he's so appreciative of all the work that you're doing. But there's no hierarchy so much. And a lot of volunteers have told me that. You mean we're going to be talking with the founder and Rick? And I go, yeah, we're all
Yeah.
in this together.
Well,
We
It
all
was,
Rick is a very down-to-earth person.
yeah,
Yes, he
You could
is.
talk to relate. He's not somebody that's sitting in an ivory tower,
yeah,
Mm-mm.
barking his orders. He's concerned about. He does have a concern about the world.
yeah.
He does. It's
Yeah.
sincere. Yeah. He's
When
not there to
I
make money.
when I first like spoke to Rick, I was very like scared. I'm like, oh my God, he's the founder.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking to him. But after like two, three calls, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I'm like, okay,
It's
let's
Rick. Well, like when you speak to me, this is the founder of TBG International Inc. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, tell what you used to do, Malcolm.
Excuse me.
Tell what you used to do in your previous life.
In my previous life,
Yeah,
which
that's one.
one?
The one when you were younger and you had your beard and you had your
This,
shirt on and
there was
you're
a
like,
period. There was a period. I'm originally from New York.
Oh.
as most people could tell from them. In fact, they'd say you're from Brooklyn. But during the in the late 60s, early 70s, what was very popular, which is very there, was Buddhism
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
Maharishi Mahesh Yogi.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to do transcendental meditation. I still do,
Ooh.
TM. And I had I have like people say, you have a beard? I don't remember, but now I have, my gray beard, but it's sort of like a day old growth, and I keep it that way.
But your hair, how long was your beard? Like
But
down to here?
I used to have a full beard that was darker, that was dark brown. And those days, I used to wear the in vogue was the Nehru jackets, like
And the love
right.
beads.
And I had my love beads, and I had a ponytail.
Really?
So yes,
I didn't know that part of
Wow, I can
so
imagine that.
I used to call myself Maharishi Mahesh Malcolm. But
Oh.
anyway, guys, I hate to tell you, our half hour is up. We'll have to get you back to see how you're doing, and maybe in a few months to see how you're doing. How's the volunteer work doing? What you've discovered. Because the good thing is each day you discover something new. Gee, I didn't know that. That's why they always say you keep your eyes and ears open.
Yeah.
Yep. And every moment is a do-over moment, and every day is the first day of the rest of your life.
Right.
So
And
be happy.
every person you meet adds something to you.
Yes.
Yep.
So if you learn just one thing from one person each day, you're going to live a full life. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. V, it was nice meeting you. I'm sure we'll meet again.
Yes.
Yana, I'm sure we'll meet again next Friday. Let
And
me know.
who's our guest? I don't know.
I know. Again, V, if you have people that you know that you think are very interesting that could add to what we're doing, I'm
Hmm.
trying to bring the world together.
Yeah.
It's a small world out there, and we all, basically most of us have the same interest.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys,
Saving the world.
have a great weekend, and to all your dads or people, wish them a happy Father's Day from me, which is this Sunday.
Yeah. Happy Father's to you too.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day to you. Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to Malcolm and We, heard exclusively on malcolmpresents.com. Go to YouTube or just go to malcolmpresents.com and you will get our shows. Bye.